Hello RGC, I'd like to welcome you in for another video. Today we're going to be covering Terrafarm, the new version of Terrafarm that just been released here a few weeks back. Kind of going to go over the functions and how to get going with it. The vehicles that we are using have already had Terrafarm added into it. Most vehicles you are going to have to add them in to get them to work. There are links out there that I've already done this with most FS miners and other machinery that is in the mod hubs or whatever. And also the Terrafarm will come with all the base game configurations, so you don't need to add the base game stuff that you'll be using. Well, the first thing, how do I get the new Terrafarm? You can download it from the GitHub. SCF mod has a GitHub for his Terrafarm, and you can get the link from there. It's very easy. I will leave a link in the description to get there, so you can download it. But basically, this here is the site. I'll bring it in real quick. And once you get there, you're just going to click on releases here, the latest release. Once you click here, it'll bring you to another page, and then you can click this link, FS22 Terrafarm zip, and download the latest download. I've already done it a few times, as you can see there. But yeah, very simple. Click on the link in the description. We'll get you there, or type in on your search engine, Terrafarm, GitHub, whatever it should pop up and get you there very easily. So yeah, make sure you download it and put it in your mods folder in order for you to get it to work. These excavators that I'm going to be using have already been updated by RGC. Community PDJ has updated these to accept Terrafarm, and in a later video I will go over how to add them to an excavator that say that you have. It's very simple procedure, just a few little codes in the XML to get it to work correctly. There's two separate ways to do it. You can do it with Terrafarm itself and edit the Terrafarm and add vehicles in that way, or individually add information to XMLs of each vehicle to get it to work. But yeah, we'll cover that on a later video. But for today, we're just going to cover how to get Terrafarm to work. So the new Terrafarm is amazing. The interfaces are great. You can see on the right side there, very easy to follow information on a display. The UI is great. He's done a good job on reorganizing that, making it easy to use. So right now you see the excavator is what we're in. The mode basically is set to material right now. The discharge is set to the material. What I'm digging is set to stones, and the texture that I'm digging is going to leave dirt texture on the ground. So first thing you can do is you can hit the Y key, and that will bring up the menu. If your Y key is not working, it's because you have keybind conflicts, and you got to make sure you go into your key bindings and figure out why the Y is not working. Also, a quick reminder: if you are on a server playing with other people and you don't have landscape permissions, you will not be able to access Terrafarm. You won't be able to Terrafarm at all until you get permissions to do landscaping. So make sure your admin checks off your landscaping permission so you can get that. So that may be a bug too, that you're thinking, oh crap, I can't do this. Why? If you're on a server, you don't have permissions to do landscaping, you won't be able to Terrafarm. So in your career, obviously you should have all the permissions to do so. So we're going to hit Y. You're just going to go through some options here. First thing that pops up here is the machine settings. And you can enable the machine on or off, so we can just turn it off so you're not going to see any terraforming stuff with this machine. You can use map resources, so this is set for the map. Basically, map editors can now paint, so to speak, materials to the terrain, so you can dig what the map creator wants you to dig out of certain areas of the map. So they can do a dirt pit, they can do a stone pit, limestone, coal pit, paint a layer, but it doesn't actually show the material. It's going to be the terrain. You can use textures to paint the terrain so it looks like that, but The map creators can now set zones for what materials we want in our map, and then with this on, that's what you'll be digging when you're digging those areas. So this map does have map resources in it, but for now we're going to turn these off. I have updated the map to certain resources around the map, but we're not going to go over that in this tutorial. Some of your material here, you would not have to worry about changing that if you're using map resources, because whatever you're digging would automatically override this option here. So with this off, we can choose which material we want. So just for show here, we're going to change this to pay dirt, where you can be digging out of a claim. And enable material obviously is on, and discharge on, so we're going to be able to discharge it and able to dig it out of the ground too. This right here is a texture. We're going to change this to dirt dark just for the tutorial here. Enable painting, obviously we're going to do that. Strength and hardness and radius, you can change this here to make it better suit the digging. We're just gonna up the percentages here. I like a little bit stronger brush here. This may switch back. Sometimes it does that. Yeah, see how it switch back. So we're gonna try to do it so it doesn't reset itself. Perfect. Your deformation brush circle is what I always keep it at there. So that's your basic settings to set up your material and your texture for digging, and your strength and how much material, how quickly it's going to be dug out of the ground. This next options here is pretty straightforward on information here. Clear forage, clear material, so you can remove foliage and brushes when terraforming. You turn it on or off. If you want to leave the bushes on the ground, you can have it stay with it off. Clear material, so removing material around terrain when you're deforming. So while you're digging, like, the material's not going to fall off around your bucket. It will stay in your bucket or get removed if it's outside your bucket. Basically, remove tire tracks, so when you're digging, it removes tire tracks on and off. Field grass, stones, we leave most of it on. Clear material we'll leave off because we want to leave the material when it spills outside a bucket. We want to keep that realistic and leave that off there. Paint radius modifier, area modifier, so you can add a modifier to the paint and density. I keep that default. Works pretty good. Your input ratio, I've been keeping at default, but basically this input ratio allows you to take more material out of the ground and less terrain, or more terrain and less material. So if you put it below 1 ratio, you will be getting more material, less terrain. With the higher number, you're getting more terrain, less material, I believe. You can mess around with that on your own. Enable visual effects, so if the mod has visual effects added to the mod itself, so the new Terrafarm allows the modder to actually add effects, so you can add sound, you can add material going into the bucket and particle effects while terraforming. That's something new. The modder, they can add that to the machine if you want those on and visually show. That's good to do so there. Allow grading up. So this here, if you're building a ramp or whatever with Terrafarm, it allows you to add the terrain up to the grade. If you turn this off the way it's set right now, you can only dig out the ramp where the terrain is located. So if there's like a gap between where the terrain starts and where you set your ramp at, that section won't be added. Material, the terrain won't be added up to it. I can show you guys in the when I show you how to add a ramp. I'm gonna let you know how to change that. I'll leave it off for now so I can come back in the setting and turn it on. Force nodes, force all nodes of 1 or more are active. Machines, copy machines, so you can copy from one to another. So it's a lot easier to keep the same settings from one machine to the next. So this is in your transit information here, where we'll go over that when I rip out the transit and to show you how to use the transit. For now, we're just going to show you the basic settings without the transit. Okay, so we have this menu here. There are some key bindings that you can search and look up, but for me to change the material, basically the mode is with the comma key next to the M. Smooth, so excavators can do smooth, lower, paint, material, grade. So we're just gonna do lower for right now. just to show you guys how to do it without the transit. Grade is using the transit. So grade is when we rip about the transit. Alright, so we're going to go with grade, with lower. Discharge, we're going to keep at material, but if you want to change that, you hit the underscore or dash key up by the circle, or by 0, or plus some equals key up there. You can switch that. We're going to leave that material, so basically you're discharging material. Pay dirt and dirt, we already set those in this other settings, so that's good to go. To turn this on, we hit the O key next to P and I, the keyboard. See how it darkens it up really nice, and that activates it. And we're just gonna dig a quick little hole. I hope. Beautiful. So everything's working great. We're getting pay dirt. We're changing the terrain to a dirt texture. So yeah, I have it set to like 0.25. Somewhat realistic on speed. You can speed that up from 0.75 up to 1 and you'll be able to dig the terrain faster. But for now, this is what we're keeping it at. So yeah, that's the basic settings. So if we want to, let's see, use a transit to dig a certain level. So right now we're on a bench right here. It's a pretty tall bench. But if we want to dig this bench out but be up top here, we can set our level to down at the bottom of this bench. This is fairly high bench, so let's make it a little bit lower here. So I'm just going to quickly make this bench a little smaller. That's a good bench right there. Let's say you wanted to dig this out from underneath you. We got to set up a transit at this terrain level here. Alright, so in order to do that, we got to purchase a transit. So I'm going to set the store deliveries here just to make it quicker. And when I purchase it through miscellaneous, it will give me my surveyor transit. I call it a transit, but surveyor. You can change the color if you like. It shows up in a box, which is cool because you want to keep your transits, surveyors nice and protected, right? You don't want to float around. First thing you're going to do is when you walk up to it, you're going to unfold it. So you hit X. It opens up. Nice animations there. PDJ, once again, working his magic with that. And it's all set where you want it. If this is the level where you want it at, you can just leave it here. Kind of pick it up and move it to where you want to. And you're good to go, basically. So this is the level we want it at. So we're going to hit Collaborate, which is R key. It brings up this menu here. We're just going to click on this Collaborate button here, and you can set it anywhere you want. If you're doing a flat surface, if you're doing a ramp, then obviously you make the angle to how you want your ramp. This is your starting point here, obviously. But we're just going to show you the flat setting for like a bench work. So angle 0. I'm just going to hit Apply. And we can hit Set Level if you want. It's not going to do a whole lot. Your angle 0. So your excavator is going to dig at that level. Anyway. So yeah, that's all I'm going to show you for now in here, because there's more we can do with angles and building a ramp, and I'll do that here in a second. Exit the menu, and we'll jump in the excavator and we'll change this to grade. So we're at lower right now. We're going to hit the comma key until we get to grade, and we're good there. Next thing you do need to do is we need to collaborate our machine with the transit. So we do got to go back into these menus here. Remember I told you we're going to come back to this, and this is where this transit comes in to play. And we want to collaborate it with, so we're in a machine right now with this surveyor that we set down here. So apply that. Now PS2 surveyor is being used by this machine. Alright, you can see how it lights up now too, which is great. Once I turn it on, it'll turn green. Alright, so we're set to grade, material's all good. Now we're going to turn this on. Let's see how it went green. We're at that level. Beautiful. And now we will dig at that level and don't go any lower. So we can work these benches and stay level with the ground below, which is just simply the amazing thing, especially when you're mining, and keep the cuts clean. Alrighty, so yeah, you can see I kept everything perfectly level there. I could strengthen it up a little bit as well, which I'll show you there real quick, and add a little bit more strength to this here. I don't know why it switches it back whenever I change the hardness. See how a little bit quicker it is digging that up. Alright, so now let's build a ramp. And this is what I was talking about, how the area between the terrain and the transit. So if you're gonna build a ramp from like here up to where we are there, this area here is not gonna have any terrain in it. So that option that I was talking about, if you turn that on, it allows you to build the terrain up to that in order to get a nice ramp. It's better to use like a dozer or wheel loader or something. There'll be different excavators to build ramps, but you can still do it with this, and we'll show you how to do here. So we got to re-collaborate it to build a ramp. We're gonna collaborate. Let's choose it to go up way up here, on here. Once you set this and you apply it, you can set an angle that's different. Right now your angle is 7.76. Let's try a set an angle of 8. Make it even angle, confirm. It's just gonna lower your point down just a tiny bit. Alright. You can reset it if you like, if you want to start over. Change the name, so if you want to change the name of your surveyor to right now we're working the mega cut, so you can change if you have multiple surveyors and different cuts that you're doing. Now you can see it easier. Alright, so we have our ramp here. We already have this excavator set to the grade, so this allows us to instantly, all we can do is turn it on. We're still digging pay dirt, and we can build our ramp. We are going to get a lot of material, so we can pile our material up off to the side or have a truck ready nearby to load it. The issue with not having terrain, see how the terrain is missing underneath here? We have to add it. That's not going to allow me to do it unless I turn this option on here. This option on here. Allow grading up, sorry. Turn this option on here. I like to turn this on as well, so I don't leave material around while I'm doing this. It makes it more cleaner while building the ramp too. So that's not a bad idea to do that. That's why I went to that option first. Alright, hit O, turn this on. Let's try to build this ramp. See if this works here. See how the terrain is being moved to that level. Once again, I did fill my bucket. I knew it was going to happen. If you don't want to fill your bucket and just build a terrain, not very realistic, you can enable material, turn that off. Even discharge and turn off if you want, but enable material. Let's just try that, and we don't have to worry about material. We should be able to build a terrain up to that line. Yeah, see how we're building the terrain. We're just not going to get any material in the bucket. Which isn't very realistic not to have material, but to show you the how it works and how nice this ramp will look when we're done. This is a good way to do it. There you have it. Decent little ramp. Couldn't really reach all the way down there, but good enough. We get out here. Again, it's with a dozer, you can drive up and down the ramp very nicely, smooth it all out. Like I said, turning the material off for a dozer is going to make the ramp way better, because it doesn't hold the material very well right now. And you can see with the excavator how a little bumpy it is. It's not very smooth. You get a lot smoother with a dozer. But just showing you how to set it up, so you can do what you like with these new transits, and showing you how awesome the new Terrafarm is. Like I said, basically the biggest thing with the new Terrafarm is this whole transit setup. You can still lower and do all the old stuff with it. It's a lot better user interface, a lot easier to learn, and overall the digging and how it goes into the buckets and the animations. So there's a lot of cool things that was added to it. Definitely recommend switching to the new Terrafarm as soon as possible. Like I said, there are mods already out there that are allowing for multiple vehicles, the FS miners and others that are on the mod hub, whatever, to have this new Terrafarm in it. RGC community is slowly adding this to their machines. PDJ has got these 3 cats excavators that we are using all updated. The 350 Volvo will be added next here, probably in the next day or two. Very simple way to add it. I will be doing another video. I don't want to keep these videos, make them too long. Under a half an hour is always good to keep you entertained. But yeah, this is the basics setup. I hope you guys learned something from this. There might be something else that I missed into the Terrafarm. There's a little bit more in-depth stuff that I might have left out. Hopefully, if you check us out on our streams there on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube now, ask a question in there, send me a question in Discord if you need any help with anything that you're having issues with. Feel free to jump in there and ask. That being said, appreciate your time. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you wouldn't mind liking and possibly subscribing if you haven't already, that'd be grateful. For me, that's all. Take care, guys.